museum now stands testimony to Lancaster's seafaring past, a past worthy of both celebration and condemnation. The slave trade is an unavoidable place of the town's history, and those tyrants who made a living out of the transportation of these innocent souls figured largely in the 18th century Lancaster. Could this horrific historical episode be responsible for the paranormal veil which drapes over the museum? The ghostly figure of a man has been seen on the ground floor watchrooms by visitors, and a green lady terrified a member of staff in the adjoining warehouse area. Could one of these troubled beings show themselves as tonight's face of evil? Snatchams lies in a remote coastal position, regularly cut off by the temperamental tide, and with a reputation as a haunt for ruthless press gangs in Lancaster's maritime heyday. Press gangs would snatch men and force them into a life at sea. Could one or more of these heinous characters maintain a presence here? Stories of threatening presences, objects moving on their own, and supposed spirits making physical contact would certainly suggest so. The plot thickens deeper with a possible priest hole, and could a mystery, now blocked up doorway, lead to a former smuggler's tunnel? This 16th century building certainly is shrouded in a sinister mystery and could lead us to uncovering a face of evil.
Huge potential in tonight's visual location. I should just remind you that over the last 6 days, Yvette and the team have carried out an astonishing 24 hours of paranormal investigation. We're going till midnight tonight. Tomorrow we are live on Living from 8 for Halloween, and it will be our most dangerous and hopefully fruitful paranormal investigation ever. Now, as Yvette and her team get ready at the location, one man, team member, has already been there. It's our medium and psychic artist, Brian Shepherd. He went there with an open mind, looking for a face of evil. Here's what he found.
We've just come into this lovely old pub. Immediately I've picked up on several things in actual fact. One, and by far the strongest, is a male presence, an overriding male presence, a very strong, a very angry man. A man capable and indeed responsible for murder, but not one, but many, many murders. The overriding influence, the overriding presence is this man who coerces people into things. People have been taken from here. I'm trying to sort of, if you like, draw a face. What's happening is I tend to be trying to draw several faces. Such is the strength of the energy that is actually here in this area in terms of those lost souls looking for, you know, revenge and certainly release. Well, I think the reason for picking up on these other faces is that this main character has been directly responsible for their deaths.
Very sinister image indeed. The man who created it is with us now, our medium and psychic artist Brian Shepherd and paranormal investigator Phil Wyman. Good evening to both of you gentlemen.
Good evening.
I got the sense that maybe it's not quite as evil a figure as we've had on previous nights, Brian, or did I misinterpret what you were saying?
I think you probably have, well, as far as I'm concerned, probably misinterpreted anyway. I think there's every evidence and reason to believe that this is a very evil person indeed, the person that we're going to, well, if you like, home in on, highlight tonight. This really is a place of lost souls. People have been taken from this place. That was an overriding feeling that I got while I was there. People have been murdered there. Links, yes, of course, with water, with the sea. But do you know something? Links also with witchcraft.
Right, which is becoming a recurring theme through this week.
Indeed.
What's fascinating working with you, Brian, here is that you go to the location, you give us your face of evil, and then as the evening progresses, as you're almost tuning in to what's happening on the vigil, you get more and more information. Where does that come from, do you
Listen,
think?
there's a monitor at my feet. I'm looking all the time.
Yeah.
I'm reenacting that. I'm building on what I've already felt.
But you almost seem sometimes to go slightly away from us here and go to your own place while you're focusing.
It's inducing me to do that, to kind of, you know, get into myself, get into my own head, and think, that's why that was. That's why I felt that. Do you see what I mean? It's a follow-on from that. I'm building this story all the time in my mind.
Also, I suppose, Phil, thank you for that, Brian, the fact that this place has had an awful lot of paranormal activity reported over the week, this is almost, I suppose, a kind of focus for paranormal activity here, is it?
It is, yeah. I mean, this place that we're in at the moment is obviously very, very haunted, reputedly so. And Brian's probably tuning into those energies as well. And I don't know how it kind of works. I don't know if you can kind of relay your mediumistic powers through those to tune into what's happening in the location area.
No, absolutely. I mean, as you say, we're sitting here, and so much, I've had so much here, it's just incredible. What a place, what a colourful place.
And can you just share with the audience, we started the investigation on the first night, you told me yesterday you sense quite often something behind where I'm sitting.
Indeed.
Can you describe what you're seeing?
Yeah, indeed. There was a lot of, if you like, negative energy on this stage. I've been attracted back, you know, time and time again. Even without the audience in, I came back, was it yesterday afternoon, and sat where I'm now, and just drew, looking beyond you, your back. And lo and behold, a shape came, you know, a man, a dark, raging man, an overpowering presence. I would think that we could attribute that to someone who was maybe a stage manager or something way in the past.
But you've got that sense of anger even when the show's on.
Yeah, no,
for the
absolutely.
moment, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Phil Wyman. Again, we're saying to the audience here tonight and to you at home, if you sense or see anything, please let us know. And Julian Clegg has the details of how you can make that happen. Julian.
Thanks, Paul. As we were saying earlier, over 30,000 sightings so far this week, which I think is a record, so that's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Lots of messages coming in already. Adrian in Scotland says, I've sensed a female spirit called Andrea. I got the date 1345 for some reason and keep thinking of army themes and a general making his presence known tonight. Thank you for that. Leslie in Glasgow just wanted to say this has been the best show ever, and Kieran's experiments have been astounding and fantastic. Can't wait for tonight. And lots of good luck messages coming in for this evening. Michael in Lancaster, Catherine in Chorley, Molly in Norwich, Sarah in Grimsby, Vicky in Bromley, just a few names to mention there. Thank you for all those coming through thick and fast. Fantastic. Let's look at the webcam, shall we, tonight. And there's 8 of them, of course. 8 Faces of Evil, 8 nights of live television, 8 webcams. And webcam 1 in the Maritime Museum is in the Fisherman's Cottage on the ground floor. Let's have a look at it there. We may see members of the team, by the way, as we're looking through these webcams, because they're preparing for the vigil tonight. See anything on that webcam, let me know. Already a shadow of a woman dressed in rags sat on the stool, says M.H.L and Melton Mowbray. And there were 2 orbs that just floated past the doorway, says Jack in Bolton. Webcam 2 on the first floor, and you're already getting in touch on that one too. Let's have a look at it. Andrew in Swansea, there's a woman with black hair with a white top on by the wall, and the name I'm getting is Mary. Beware of her. And I can see a little child crouching in the corner of the room, says Richard on webcam 2. Webcam 3, interestingly, is the busiest so far. This is in the storeroom. There it is. And Chris from Wales says the camera has been flickering with images of a hooded person. The name Jack comes to mind. Be safe, team. And Jordan in Cardiff, there's something moving in the background. I've seen it twice now, and it looks like a man who's very angry. That is webcam 3, the busiest so far in the storeroom. And then moving on to webcam 4 in the workhouse. Let's bring that up now. And Joy in the United States, good to know you're watching, Joy. I heard a growling sound on the camera in the workhouse. Thank you for that one. And Nat and Jen in Worksop say, be careful, team. I've heard a voice on camera 4. It sounds like a lady. Now later in the evening we'll switch over to webcams 5 to 6. Let's have a look at those right now. 5 to 8, should I say. Webcam 5 is in the bar with the fireplace on the ground floor. There it is. If you see anything later in the evening, let me know. Webcam 6 is in the bar with the mystery door on the ground floor. And there it is. Very dark one, that one, but we're keeping an eye on that as the evening goes on. Webcam 7 is in the kitchen on the ground floor. Let's bring that one up now. You can vaguely see kitchen utensils and so on that one. What are you going to see on that later when we switch over to it? And webcam 8 is in the attic. Let's have a look at that one there. You can see a chair in the foreground, but what are you going to spot on those 8 webcams as the evening goes on. Don't forget, when you get in touch, we want to know your name, where you're from and the time. That's important so we can correlate your messages with other people, so we get a theme going on that. Now, to get in touch, this is how it works. You text me, text the word screen and then your message and citing to 80889. The text cost 50p plus 1 text message at a standard rate. You must be over 18 to get in touch with Most Haunted Live, by the way. At our website, where you'll find the webcams and the interactive map as well, by the way, and sending your messages to mosthauntedlive.net. Look forward to hearing from you as the evening goes on.